Today, on Be Something Wonderful, the most powerful manifesting technique ever. I am your host, Tom Karen, and this is the Be Something Wonderful studio of higher consciousness, where we help you level up and become the best version of yourself. Creators, welcome back. After I posted yesterday's video, there were some questions from a few of you, but one of you was a client that I met with once already. And with this specific client, it was regarding her SP, that she didn't feel appreciated, that she used the processes. 3 times she manifested her SP back into her life using all the processes that we talk about: imagining your wish fulfilled, affirmations, telling a new story, right? Scripting, writing it out. All of those things are possible using the AIM technique that I've talked about, right? And so ask, imagine, and move, that technique, and others. And so she sent me an email after the video came out. I think it was a few hours after. Oh my God, and she booked a session for later yesterday. So she goes, I've got to talk to you. And late yesterday, she goes, I got it. I understand now. So you can manifest whatever you want using those techniques. The techniques are powerful. They can get you in a place of allowing and a place of feeling what you've already created within, of already experiencing that manifestation within. And then it does manifest in the 3D world. And she said, I get it now. But what kept happening is I had the concept, this is as we talked it over, I had the identity of someone that doesn't get appreciated. And bigger than that, because I kind of drew this out of her, I go, well, it's more than that, right? It's bigger than that. You're a person that believes that you need something in the outside world to be appreciated. That either it's a relationship or something to feel the appreciation that's already yours. You're appreciated. God loves you. In fact, Dr. Joe Dispenza, right? That quote from Dr. Joe Dispenza when he talks about that divine force, God, the quantum field. And he says, how can something that's always looking out for you, that's always caring for you, that's always making your blood pump, your heart beat, right? The flowers bloom, keeping the planets in orbit. How can that be anything else but just pure love? Wow, I get a tingle every time I talk about that. She got it. That's what it was, right? So the video in yesterday was saying, yes, of course you can do processes and manage from whatever level of identity or concept of yourself that you're identifying with. You certainly can create a lot of magic in your world, and you can find peace, and you can find happiness from that identity. But if that identity is something that you want, if you're believing something like that you need to be appreciated by somebody, it's deeper than that person. It's not that there's something wrong with that person or your SP, and there's not even something wrong with you. It's just a bogus assumption that you have that you need appreciation, you need something outside of yourself. So what is the magic? And she goes, well, to you, what's the most powerful process? What's the most powerful technique? And that is I am. Right? That is the imaginal act, of course. That's powerful because that gets right at that I am. That gets right at I am. It's you. It's the I am imagining what it wants to be. But if it's built on a concept or a bogus belief about yourself or a bogus concept, then you're going to manifest something that gets you to overcome that what you think is a weakness. Right? What you really think is that you need to do things to be appreciated. So you manifest things, people, events, and circumstances in your life so you can overcome that feeling of lack of appreciation. But you never do, because you are that experience. You are the 3D experience. It's coming from that concept. So over and over again, you manifested your SP so you could finally overcome that feeling that people don't appreciate me or he doesn't appreciate me. But yet he still shows you that concept that you don't feel appreciated. Do you get this, guys? Let's unpack this today like we never have before. So your desire, your wish fulfilled, everything you want is waiting for you. So I really want to say this because I think we talked about yesterday with this same client that she goes, sometimes I just feel like I'm waiting for his behavior to change. I'm waiting for him to appreciate me. And so when you're waiting for something to happen in the outside world, you're implying a future event. Hear this. You're just implying it's in the future, that it's not going to happen now. Instead of making the future now and the elsewhere here, as Neville Goddard talks about, when you imagine your wish fulfilled, we're going to talk about one of my favorite, most powerful processes that Neville Goddard teaches, and really all of them do, but we're going to talk about it in a certain way today. So instead of making the future now and the elsewhere here, you're making the now, the I am, the future. Do you hear this? It's almost like I will, or he will, right? And the here elsewhere. So you're not in the now, you're not here, and you're not now. You're in the future and you're elsewhere. When you're waiting for something to change, you're not now, you're not here. You're not in the here and now. You're elsewhere and you're in the future. So I am God happens here and now. Right? You're making the now the future and the here elsewhere, but God is now. I am happens now. It happens here and now. Right? God never waits for anything. Why would God ever wait? God is all there is, and you are an aspect of God. You are part of that divine energy. Waiting is a state of being, and it's resistance to the eternal now. You just keep creating that state of being of waiting over and over again. Waiting is resistance. Waiting is a reaction to the 3D world conditions, right? Waiting is a reaction to 3D conditions that seemingly don't include what you want. You're reacting by waiting, by thinking you have to wait. We're dreaming for sure. You're deeming the present moment. I've talked about this. The I am somehow is not good enough. In other words, that you're not good enough. And your SP's not good enough, and nothing's good enough. I got to wait for it all to happen, right? Make it. So this is what Neville says. He's very clear. Make elsewhere here in the future now. The future event is a reality now in a dimensionally larger world. And oddly enough, I love this part, now in a dimensionally larger world is equivalent to here in the ordinary 3D space of everyday life. Wow. Your here is now in that dimensionally larger world. Because here equals now. It's all happening right now. I love this, right? Everything, all that is always here and now. Waiting makes no sense. So I want to go to the resurrection of Lazarus again. And I've talked about this in a few videos where I unpack the whole miracle. And I've left links below because it hits all different areas of prayer, of wish fulfilled. It covers so many different things, and I thought you would enjoy those. But today I want to talk about it from this standpoint. This is Martha talking to Jesus. In other words, it's your I am, talking to your I am. You with your I am. Lord, if you had been here, my brother would not have died. This is Lazarus. Remember, Martha is the brother of Lazarus. And even now I know that whatever you ask of God, God will give you. So I want to unpack this a little bit. Now, the contents of this is Jesus took his time. When he heard that Lazarus was sick, he didn't go right away, right? So he didn't go. He took his time. This is why Mother's saying, if you were here, you would have healed him and he wouldn't have died, right? You would have healed him while he was sick. But Jesus knew by the time he got there, Lazarus would have died, right? But there's more of a metaphysical meaning behind that. It's much bigger than that, right? Remember, dying is you dying to your I am. Getting caught up and immersed in the 3D world and forgetting your I amness, forgetting that power within yourself, forgetting the concept or identity as totally unlimited, and then limiting yourself with concepts such as I'm not good enough or I'm not appreciated. Do you get this, right? So I just want to talk about this. Lazarus being dead represents you being dead to the truth of your own power, to the beingness as I am. You're immersed in the physical 3D world of conditions, and you get caught up in them. We all do, right? Whatever you ask, now this part, even now, this is a very powerful statement. Remember, Martha and Jesus, you're both of those. It's you talking to you, right? It's you talking to your higher self, to your I am. Even now, I know that whatever you ask of God, God will give you. Wow, powerful statement. Whatever that I am, whatever you declare as I am, you become it. You are that. God does not hold back, right? Whatever you ask, whatever you claim, remember we talked about ask as meaning claim or assume. Whatever you believe, assume as I am, right? God will give you. In other words, it will be manifested in the 3D reality as it is created immediately on the dimensionally larger plane. So whatever you declare is created in that moment, in that dimensionally larger reality. And God will give you that. God doesn't hold back anything in that moment. It's you getting immersed in the waiting that keeps it in the future. So let's hit this a little bit more. And then Jesus said to Martha, your brother will rise again. In other words, will rise in consciousness. Will use his imagination. Will use that I amness, right, to declare what he wants to do, be next, be, do, or have next. That's what he's saying. Martha said to him, I know that he will rise again in the resurrection on the last day. Wow. Hear this, right? This was the belief that there'd be a day of judgment, a day of resurrection, right? But here, think about this. That's what is really Martha pointing to? What's the meaning behind this? That it's the future. That's you believing, yeah, I'll get my stuff in the future. Someday, on the last day, on some day it will all happen for me. But I'm waiting for it in the meantime. Do you hear this? My SP will finally appreciate me. My others will finally appreciate me. Right? Someday, right? And then Jesus said to her, this is big. I am the resurrection and the life. He who believes in me will live even if he dies. We're going to hit that. We're going to break that down on the next page. But what I want to say, the resurrection. Let's just hit the resurrection and the life here. We'll hit this other in green on the next page. The resurrection, the rising in consciousness to your I amness or your wish fulfilled, embodying your desires. That's the resurrection. The resurrection doesn't happen in the future. It happens now with your I am. It's you declaring what you want to be. It happens in the presence of I am, in the now, never in the future. God's not in the future. God's in the present, right? It's your inner awakening or your inner manifestation of your imagined end. And that happens right now. Do you get this? I am the resurrection. I am the life, right? Whatever you're declaring as I am is your life, is your resurrection. You rise in consciousness to that concept of yourself or that identity or that belief. And if that's a lower belief or a lower state of consciousness, that's as high as you will rise. But you're always resurrecting to something you're declaring, right? Why not? Here we're talking about why not resurrect to your true identity, to your I amness that's without limitation, that's without doubts, that's without fears. This is big. So let's hit this a little bit more. He who believes in me will live even if he dies. This is big. What is this declaring here? Jesus says this, and sometimes we look at this and, okay, but what does it really mean? This is you. This is your unbroken, forevermore connection to God, the Christ within you, your I amness, regardless, hear this, regardless of the 3D conditions, regardless of the circumstances, regardless of your doubts and fears, the connection is forevermore. He who believes in me will live even if he dies. That I amness is yours, period. Even if you start doubting it, even if you lose awareness of it, right? It's always there, right? You cannot lose your identity as the Son of God. You cannot lose your I am. You cannot lose God. This is big. God's too big to miss, right? And everyone who lives and believes in me will never die. In other words, so and everyone who lives, in other words, if you continue to live in that I amness, that higher concept of yourself, you will never die. You will always be identified with that higher concept. The doubt and fear can't get in. Those rogue thoughts, you're going to stop believing them. That rogue doubt, you're going to stop entertaining it. You're just going to let it be and access that true consciousness of your awareness of who you really are, right? And this is what Jesus says. This is interesting. So here he says to his disciples, our friend Lazarus has fallen asleep, but I go so that I may awaken him out of sleep. It's that I am, right? Your I am, your imagination. I go. Now, Jesus says here that he is falling asleep because Jesus knew, right, that it's just a trend, that you don't die. There is no physical death, right? It's moving among all the realities, all the states of consciousness, right? It's really going on the other side of the veil, right? But bigger than that, I go awaking him. When you fall asleep, it means you fall asleep to your I am. You fall asleep to that higher concept to yourself. You believe you are limited. You believe you need your SP to appreciate you because you feel unappreciated. You feel you need something from the outside world to feel appreciated. You don't feel that natural, true state of appreciation, that the divinity, that God always has you in his gaze. That divinity, she always has you in her gaze, and that love is always flowing to you, right? God, you're never out of sight to God, right? So our friend Lazarus has fallen asleep, and then he goes on further. He goes, Lazarus is dead. So Lazarus is dead. He says he's fallen asleep here, and then he says he's dead. But what does he mean? It's death to that I amness. It's you immersed in 3D reality, thinking you need to be appreciated, thinking you need to overcome that feeling of appreciation by attracting other people to show you how to overcome it. That's why your SP can only show up that way, because he shows up in a way for you for your belief that you need to overcome it. So he doesn't appreciate you, so you have that experience of trying to overcome it. But you can never get there because that's your identity. Do you hear this? Lazarus is dead. Just straight out, right? So try this. So one of my favorite, most powerful techniques, Neville Goddard talks about this, but really other spiritual teachers talk about it, but never really like Neville does, is congratulations. And so I was planning on teaching this after this amazing session with this client, because I go, oh, it's a congratulations imaginative technique. That's what I'm going to use. And interestingly, for the last few days, I've been waiting for something I ordered online, and it was supposed to be available at the store. So it's just a few miles away. So I go to the store the first time. Oh, it's not. It's in a remote warehouse. But I had it on my phone. There's a message. It's here. You got it, right? It's here. It's now. And so I go, okay, no worries. And so I went about my business, and then I went back because I happened to be in the area. So I just went back later, and they go, oh, I'm sorry, it's not here. And I go, oh, okay, no worry. It's never a worry. So then I went on my way, and then they said call first the next time, and then we'll make sure. But I didn't call because I happened again be out and about and in the area. The third time, and sure enough, this is after. This third time was after I was thinking about and starting to create the lesson for this morning. The imaginal act of congratulations, feeling that. So I get there, I'm in line. So finally I show my phone, she goes, oh. And she looks and she goes, oh, congratulations, it's here. She could have said anything, right? Congratulations, it's something I ordered. Right? I mean, it was mine. I paid for it, right? But this is what came out, and so I got a tingle right through me. This is the power we're talking about, guys. Congratulations, it's here. Like that's supposed to be, I'm congratulated for that, right? And so, guys, just think about this. The key to this imaginal scene, so the key to any imaginal scene, we're going to talk about being congratulated. by a friend or a family member or someone you're close to when that you've achieved your wish fulfilled. But here's some points I want to make about this imaginal act or this imaginal scene. The first key is the imaginal scene follows the fulfillment of your desire. Okay, follows the fulfillment. If you're, I think one of you said, well, I want to get married to my SP. And so you're imagining your SP proposing to you, but that doesn't follow the fulfillment, right? A scene that follows the fulfillment might be you you know how they have in weddings. I haven't been to one in a few years, but they usually have, like, the bride and groom are in a reception line, and they're greeting the guests. What a perfect thing. And normally what happens? They say what? They say congratulations, or they hug you, or shake your hand. Both of those are powerful, powerful imaginal acts because you can feel it real when someone's hugging you and congratulating you or shaking your hand. Right? You can imagine, you can put yourself in the scene and extend your hand and feel the other hand and feel them saying congratulations. Right? Or a friend of you hugging you saying, I'm so happy for you. Congratulations. Do you get it, guys? So it follows the fulfillment. And if you're in the wedding line, well, you're married. Right? Your guests are congratulating you for that. Put yourself in the scene, the action, right? Being congratulated implies the fulfillment of your wish. Do you hear this? Put yourself in the scene, in the action. Action implies it feels that you feel physical. You're feeling it real, right? And here's a few points. The state akin to sleep is a very relaxed state. So either do this before you drop off to sleep or before you drop off to a nap is powerful. It's that state where you're feeling drowsy, but you're still conscious enough to imagine your wish fulfilled. Or I like to do just a very relaxed alpha state. It's almost a state akin to sleep. And as I've told you, very often I fall asleep after this, right? Either way, right? And you can do this laying back, right? Or laying down fully, but I like to just lay back, right? And then 2, imagine being congratulated, a hug or a handshake, right? And again, a wedding, it could be either, if it's a wedding scene, but it could be anything. Remember, being congratulated implies that whatever wish you have, it doesn't matter whether it's getting married, a bag of money, a new house, a new promotion, a new business, you're going to be congratulated, right? You're going to feel there's going to be a phone call or a text or a hug or a handshake. All of those are powerful. Feel yourself in the action here and now. Not watching it, not watching yourself. But not visualizing it like you're watching a movie, but putting yourself, seeing through the eyes of that imaginal you. See through the eyes, feel through the eyes of that imaginal you. If you can't quite get the feeling, feel the conviction of it. Feel the joy of already having accomplished that or that already happening. That feeling, right? Because what does that feeling imply? It's a feeling of gratitude. It's a feeling of appreciation. Give thanks and gratitude for it being done and being yours. That seals the deal, right? After the imaginal act, as you're closing out the imaginal act, give gratitude and thanks to that higher you, to that God in you, to that I am. That's how it's done. That is the most powerful manifesting technique ever. I am your host, Tom Karen, and this is the Be Something Wonderful studio of higher consciousness, where we help you level up and become the best version of yourself. Don't forget to subscribe, hit the notification button, like and share our videos. That's how we get our message out. You can follow us on Facebook at Be Something Wonderful. We have a group now on Facebook called the Be Something Wonderful Ambassadors. Feel free to join. More and more of you are joining. Or you can just visit our website at tomkaren.com or besomethingwonderful.com. Until next time, with great love, with great light, with infinite gratitude, this is Tom. See you soon.